You can now get Womanies in separate volumes. Get volumes 1, 2, or 3 at your convenience. And get a $297 credit for each one of them toward Womanies Volume 4. Get all 3 volumes by Valentine's Day, and Volume 4 is free. Links in description.
Let's continue. On Monday evening over the phone, she says, I asked this man who had shared my bed for 3 nights running why we had not made love. Your body is too wrinkly, he said without pause. I have spoiled myself over the years with young women. I just can't get excited with you. I love your energy and your laughter. I like your head and your heart, but I just can't deal with your body. I was stunned, she says. The hurt would come later. I asked him slowly and carefully if he found my body hard to look at. He said yes. So this means seeing me naked was troublesome to you, I asked. He told me he had just looked away, and when the lights were out, he pretended my body was younger, that I was younger. My breath came deep and full as I processed this information. My face blazed as I felt embarrassed and shamed by memories of my easy nakedness with him in days just past. She continues, we talked for some time more, my head reeling at the content of the conversation. He spoke of special stockings and clothing that would hide my years. He blithely told me he loved little black dresses and strappy shoes. He said my hair was not long and flowing as he preferred, but that was okay because it was cool looking. I felt, she says, like a Barbie doll on acid as I listened to this man. He was totally oblivious to the viciousness of his words. He had turned me into an object to be dressed and positioned to provide satisfaction for his idea of what female sexual perfection should be. Ay, ay, ay. For this woman to give us the impression that she was shocked at the idea that a man would find her body repulsive is as transparent as a window. This knew her body was a wrinkly disaster. But rather than admitting it to herself and acting accordingly, she puts a man in the undesirable position of actually telling her that her body is too wrinkly in order to make him the bad guy. How dare he tell me my body is wrinkly? My mind is gorgeous. He liked my energy. But get this, guys. 921 people watching. Get this. She wasn't shocked at what he thought, gentlemen. She was shocked at that he actually said it. And this was her nefarious plan to guilt a man into... Listen up, guys, because I'm about to put you on game. You see, gentlemen, Miss Korth here tried to pull what women do all the time, which is pretending to ignore the truth, then relying on a man to be afraid to tell her the truth, then hoping that he'll in order to avoid sticking with the lie that he told her when he said, there's nothing wrong with your body. You're not too fat. Your body isn't too wrinkly. Robin was relying on a man's fear of not telling her the truth, and she was going to put his feet to the fire and hope he caved. Well, if there's nothing wrong with my body, she would probably ask him, then why won't you me? You guys think this is the first time this has run this gambit? You think this is the first time she's asked a man why he didn't bang her? Please, man, she does this all the time. And until she met Dave, who was unafraid to keep it all the way real with her, she was batting 1,000, guys. Every dude she ran this scam on fell for this, and Dave did not. And she was so shocked. Actually, she really was shocked that he actually told her. She was so shocked she wrote an article about it because she simply could not believe that a man would tell her straight up that he was not sexually attracted to her, and proceeded to tell her exactly why. Guys, I'm here to tell you, fat girls know they're disgusting. Ask Lizzo. Disgusting, twerking in front of LeBron. What the was that? But they rely on male fear to shame them into banging them anyway. These are all about size matters, right? Unless they're talking about their own weight. They're all about age ain't nothing but a number until somebody tells them you're too old and your body is too wrinkly. Then, of course, she stays with the butthurtness playbook when she attempts to shame him for having a healthy sexual appetite when he said he had turned me into an object to be dressed in position to provide satisfaction for his ideas of what female sexual perfection should be, which is disingenuous on 2 fronts. Number 1, women don't have to be perfect to be sexually attractive. A woman doesn't have to be perfect to make a man want to have sex with her. Robin knows this. But because she's trying to convince us that she's still bangable, she indirectly says, I may not be perfect, but I'm still. No, Miss Korth, you are not perfect. But that's why you're not, and you know it. Number 2, sexual attraction is not his idea. This is Mother Nature, Miss Korth. Nobody tells men what sexual attractiveness is. Nobody gives us measurements or markers. We see a girl and we instinctively know whether we want to or not. That's it. That's biology. For this old, road-worn old maid to try and shame men for something they have absolutely no control over, which is what we're sexually attracted to, is literally the same thing as shaming women for wanting to have sex with men who are tall and muscular. Oh my God, there must be something sick with her. She ripped rich guys. Oh my God, how dare she? Get the f*** out of here. She continues. He explained that now that I knew what was required, we could have a great time in the bedroom. I told him no, she said defiantly. I would not hide from my own body. I would not wear outfits to make my body more tolerable. I would not undress in the dark or shower with the bathroom door closed. This is awesome. I'm so glad he actually told her this. I would not diminish myself for him, she continues, or for anyone. My body is beautiful, and it goes along with my mind and my heart. That right there is the problem. A man told you exactly what you could do to become more sexually attractive to him. But instead of complying, you say that's diminishing yourself. I talked about this on Thursday when I discussed one of the many things that women do to sabotage their relationships with men, and that is that they don't allow themselves to be objectified by their men. If a man tells her, well, you'd look great in this, they say, you're objectifying me, then wonder why he f***ed your friend. Well, sweetheart, it's because your friend likes wearing a skirt and heels around him to make herself more sexually attractive to him. Robin was given a roadmap by Dave, but she decided she didn't want to diminish herself. Probably had more to do with the fact that she probably couldn't pull this off, more than the fact that she didn't want to. In other words, you can't fire me, I quit. When I told Dave I never wanted to see or hear from him again, he was confused and complained that I was making a big deal out of nothing. He whined that I had taken a small part of our relationship and made it a major event. I didn't even want to try to explain the hurt and the horror that he had inflicted upon me. I actually felt sickly sorry for this man as I hung up the phone. It was after this call that I went to the bedroom and gently stripped off my clothes. Oh, sweet mother of God. As I looked in the mirror, clear-eyed and brave, I claimed every inch of my body with love, honor, and deep care. This body is me, she says. She has held my soul and carried my heart for all of my days. Each wrinkle and imperfection is a badge of my living and giving of life. With tears in my eyes, she concludes, I hug myself. I said thank you to God for the gift of my body and my life, and I said thank you to a sad man named Dave for reminding me of how precious it all is. She's lying here, guys. She's lying. Ain't no way Dave whined about anything. Think about it. A man who tells a woman straight up, listen, sweetie, your body is too wrinkly. I can't get it up. A guy like that would never moan about a woman not doing something he suggested. Women always give themselves away as liars when telling us these stories. They expect us to believe that alpha males exhibit beta behavior. I'm not saying Dave is or isn't an alpha, and I'm not telling you I know what he said to her on the phone. But I know what he didn't. Okay? She wants us to think that she ended this relationship with Dave and not the other way around. She wants us to think she hung up on him. She said she never wants to see him again. Please. I'm going to tell you guys what really happened. Here's what happened. When she got back from her weekend. She got back from her weekend. She hadn't heard from Dave all day. So she called Dave, not the other way around. You see, guys, Dave didn't want to have anything to do with her anymore. And this is why she called him. Right? She wanted answers. A man would never proactively call up a woman after spending a weekend with her, only to tell her, listen, I didn't sleep with you because your body was too wrinkly. Oh, no, guys. Dave was actually trying to ghost on her. But because having had experience with women, he knows they don't handle rejection well, he decided to fade out of her life and ghost on her to avoid telling her the truth about not being able to get a boner for a 59-year-old hag. She probably called him 5 or 6 times throughout the day, and because he knew she wouldn't stop until she talked to him, he finally picked up the phone and gave it to her straight. And surprise, surprise, she reacted poorly, just like Dave thought she would. And because women can never really admit the truth to themselves, even when a man tells her in no uncertain terms why he wasn't interested in her, she rushed to the mirror to prove to herself that Dave was full of shit with his unrealistic, misogynistic ideas of what female sexual attractiveness should be. And to her utter shock, Dave was right. Realizing this undeniable truth, she cried and hugged herself to make her feel better about the fact that Dave and men like him are no longer an option for her. Then she got on her computer and wrote this article to convince us and herself that Dave is the sad one and not her. Unfortunately for Miss Korth, she failed miserably.